You are now listening to another episode of the Chanel and Alan Chit Chat Podcast with your hosts, Chanel Marshall and Alan Byrne.
Let me put my headphones in just in case somebody hears your voice and my neighbors realize I'm not just a complete lunatic. All the time. I don't want to shatter that illusion for them, you know. I like to, because I do spend 90% of my time talking to myself. I just don't want to. I don't want to give them the hope that maybe it's been a real person all along. No, lunatic time.
But I find that people actually speak to themselves are more sane than people that don't. Like,
right? Is it? I 100% agree with that. But bear in mind, people would say that we're lunatics. So, but the second,
I don't care.
yeah, exactly. But maybe they don't care as well. But I think people who don't talk to themselves are crazy. I'm like, I like just walking around all the time, just never ever checking in with yourself. Never in the street being like, oh, I must remember to get that. Just, my thoughts are contained.
And
that's crazy to me.
It just happens. Like, it just, bleh. It's like, you know, talk
Right?
self-diarrhea. It just, come on out.
You're definitely, you're not running the marketing wing of whatever organization we are. I'm like, it's a great thing. Don't listen to her. Diarrhea in your head is great. It's what you all really want. She's just not phrasing it right. No, but it's like, I'm like, some people, they don't. Okay, so like there's people who talk, like, I'll talk out loud to myself. I'll talk like fully out loud to myself and not realize I'm doing. My friend Angela, she said when she lived with me, she said, you're a terrifying person to live with because I always think there's other people in the house. Because I'm just, you know, she's like, I always assume there's company over. And then it's like some film where, you know, you have this sort of imaginary character and then she walks into the room and it's just you. And it's like someone's just disappeared or something. But I'm like, so I do it on the extreme, but like some people claim that they don't do it at all, that they never.
I think they do it and they just don't realize that they've done it. You know, like you're on autopilot, right? And then you realize you're like, hold on, did I just speak out loud or was that in my head? Because I can have like a full-blown conversation with myself without actually speaking out loud.
Yes,
and I realized I haven't actually been vocal the entire day, and then I'm like, oh, that's what I sound like out loud. Oh,
yeah,
wow.
you're just,
okay.
My voice is back. It's like it's been but that's funny because I definitely what I think is really interesting is sometimes like I'll be thinking about something. Or I'll so maybe I've been thinking about something for like 20 minutes, right? I've been kind of going over whatever the angles are, and I'll get to the end and I'll be like, oh, that's interesting, and I'll be like, I won't know if I was saying it out loud or if I just done it in my head, and I'll be like, I don't know, like I can't remember because there was no one there to be like, Alan, you know, or I wasn't, especially I think that's especially if you live alone, because like I don't have to modulate my volume. I mean, when I say I talk to myself, I'm not normally like, hey, Alan, this is what I think. Like, I don't need to normally worry about if the neighbors hear it or not, you know, not always. Imagine if that's so like, I don't even need to pay attention to the volume. So like, sometimes did I just say that internally or externally? I don't know. But I think people do it, man. People are full of shit. They're crazy, and I think people who don't talk to themselves.
Of course, they just don't realize.
I think the people who want to not talk to themselves or whatever you want to say, I think those people are more likely to blow the fuck up as well. Those are the people who, in the middle of Sainsbury's, start shouting. You know what I mean? You know, you've been to Sainsbury's recently. Just like, what is going? Who is this upset about the fact that there's no broccoli? You know, it's just like, that's what I think, because they're keeping it in. They're trying to keep it in.
Yeah, they just like have meltdowns, like kids in it, and they have tantrums, and it's just like, whoa, where did that come from? Like, you're right. But yeah, I believe so.
It's both on the same theme. It's both the worst and best when you see like a kid having like a tantrum in a supermarket. It always makes me laugh, man. It always, because I feel bad for however the parents reacting, if they're getting like owned by the kid or if they're like fucking pulling the kid. Whatever the reaction, I feel bad for them no matter what's happening, because it's just not a great look, you know. It's just the worst. Yeah! And then I just look at the kid and I just think, and that makes me laugh too, because I'm like in a way I think that's healthier, but in some way than them as adults. But like they're just letting it out. It's just all, I've had enough. Like banging their hands on the floor.
I look at the child and just be like,
you just let them
you're
finish,
really doing
man.
this to your parent. No, I literally look at them like, you're really doing this to your parent right now. Like, I don't care what that parent's like. But for one, you're on the floor, so you're getting dirty, hands are all trapped up and down. And this is going to get you this result. Like, you know, use your words. Come on, use your words.
Use your words. It's the worst, man. But it makes me laugh, though. It just makes me laugh. I'm just like, human beings are just a joke, you know?
Like, my niece tried that once. We was, it was many years ago, and we was in a shop called Adams, and they used to have like sweets machines like near the counter, which is the worst thing ever. And you'd have
you mean like what
do
they call them, like gumball machine is what that's what Americans
but they used to have them like they used to be full of like minstrels or Smarties and that kind of thing. So basically you'd only get like a handful or whatever.
Yeah, that's the ones I love. Them ones where you have to cup your hand like some kind of fucking orphan in Oliver. Oh please, may I have some more Smarties to scoop them out? Yeah, I love that.
And she literally was like, what's sweet stuff? Just like, hold on. Sorry, are we just we've switched realms here because you forgot who the adults are in your life. Like you really forgot, haven't you?
You forgot how this works.
Right, my mum walked off and was just like, my sister was like, and this is her child, right? And she's okay, she's walked off, and I'm like, okay. So she's there still kicking up a stick. So all I did is I picked her up like a bloody like a newspaper, shoved her underneath my arm, and we walked out the shop.
That's the best. That's the fun. That's the most. Even when it's not meant as even when you just see parents doing it sort of out of convenience or something, that's the funniest way to carry a child, I think, is under the arm. It literally just like a newspaper or like a fucking, I don't know, like a potato sack of potatoes.
She was just like, I was like, yep, that's the arm, and off we go. And she's still like, I was like, I don't care.
Sideways. Just
yes.
like, it's the best, man. I love when I see parents. I like that. I also like it when you see parents sometimes, normally dads, I think. Yeah, but actually it's because it's normally dads, it's because dads are always the ones who are like, oh fuck, we're late. Like if you've ever seen, I've only seen it once or twice, if you see a parent pick up a child like that just because they don't have the time and they need to get somewhere, just come in, and like they have to run like to get on a thing. That's the funniest to me. If they pick, because it's just like, it's all pretense that there's like, you're a person, we have dialogue. It's just like, you're a purse, come here. Like, it's just like, I love it. This is endlessly
the joys, the things kids have to go through, eh?
Oh, okay, but actually, coming back to the first thing, right? Because it made me, I wanted to ask you this as well, right? So some people, part of this talking to yourself thing as well is this idea of like how people think, right? So some people think verbally. So like you were basically saying, and I think people who talk to themselves think verbally. So they literally have like a little voice in their head. I have several. And it kind of talks, you know, whereas other people supposedly don't think like that. They don't think in terms of a voice. They think maybe in terms of like fucking images or like in words or things like that. So, or they can think, so like that's one of the reasons why people think maybe they don't talk to themselves. But then it's like memory works like that as well, right? So some people can remember things in a specific way or not. Like, so for example, the example I always give for this is like, I can't remember tastes. Like, I can't remember tastes.
I don't.
Like if I asked for this, right? So it's kind of like sensory, right? So if I asked you, like, think of what I don't know, fucking what were we talking about last week? Ice creams or whatever. I think, what was it? Knobbly bobbly? Bibbly bobbly, nibbly knobbly. Can you, if you remember that, can you remember what that tastes like? Like in your head, can you conjure the taste?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I can't. Like I know that I like whatever, let's say strawberry ice cream, but like I can't bring that into my brain.
So you never have like, hold on, okay, right. So you never actually think of like a meal that you've had and you're like, oh, that was so nice, and you can actually remember how it tastes and the memories that it gave you?
No.
Oh, that's a sad life to live, man.
Memories that it gave me, maybe. Like I can remember associated things. Like I'll be able to remember like what it looks like. Can't remember what it smells like. Smell and taste more or less the same, right? So I can remember what it looks like. I can remember the ambience or whatever the fuck. But yeah, I can't remember like taste. Like I know that I like stuff, and I'll be like, oh yeah, I wouldn't mind eating that now because I'm hungry. But the taste, I can't get the taste or the smell.
So if I say to you banana, you're just like, it's just an object right now because you don't remember what a banana tastes like.
Like I'm actively trying. Like I know that I know what it smells like, but I can't like smell it. Like, you know. Whereas like if I think of a picture of a banana, I'm like, yeah, boom, I got that straight away, no problem. I can see it now. Yeah. Now your head is just one big banana. It's hilarious. But I can't smell your head, and that's the difference. It's like, yeah, so some people can't, but here's the thing, right? You can remember images and smells, right? Some people can't have no image memory, like, which is more unusual, but like so when some people say, this is when people get caught in this stuff where they're talking about like imagination, like you don't have an imagination. People, I think probably everyone has some type of an imagination, but some people literally don't have a visual imagination. Like when you ask them to visualize something, like imagine a blue square with a green door, like they can't do it. They have to actually see it in order to like be able to conjure it in their brain.
That I can kind of understand, but back to the banana. So if someone was to
back to the banana.
Someone was to blindfold you,
yeah,
and like put banana underneath your nose and be like, smell this, what is this? You wouldn't be able to tell that it's a banana.
No, I can tell, but smell and taste are basically like biologically they're almost the same. Like, so for example, like if I held your nose, and like this is the argument, you know, if you take a piece of potato and a piece of apple, and if you stop someone holding their nose, people have a really hard time telling it apart, because actually smell and taste are basically the same like set of organs or whatever the fuck you call it in our face. So that's not a really good example, you know, like the smell. I don't get it. Yeah, I know.
I'm not even gonna. I don't get it.
But like when people say they can't,
I don't get it.
But like when people say they can't imagine like what something, I'm like, imagine a, you know, I don't know, fucking werewolf wearing a pinstripe suit, and they're like, no, I can't. I'm like, what do you mean you can't? Like I'm the same. I'm like, how can you not just make that like, in your head? But I can't. Like, I can't. I think
you can, but you've told yourself you can't. And you just want to be different because
no, because this is why, because this came up naturally. Like I can't remember what the circumstances were, but someone was just like,
how does that come up naturally, Alan?
It was something. So I think it was to do with cooking or something like that. I was like, how do you make the taste consistent every time? You just like remember what it tasted like last time. I was like, oh shit. yeah. And also, actually, if I ever cook for you, I never cook the same thing twice. So that's even more evidence. Or not literally. I'll cook the same dish twice, but I'm always like, no, it was spicier this time. Look at that. Although with me, it's always spicier. It's always spicier.
With you and your weird issue.
I'm telling you, it's not as weird as you think. That's what I'm saying. Ask people. But there's another one. Or like music. Sound is another one. Like some people can't hear, like they can't remember. They know they like a song, but they can't like play it in their head. Like they could hum it, like they could physically start singing it, but they couldn't think it.
Okay, but your thing's still weird. Stop trying to add other things.
No. But why? But why is one more weird than the other? Like why is the sound one?
I don't understand that you like music. There's a whole other thing going on, especially like if someone else plays say, for instance, you're trying to think of like Michael Jackson Bad, but then someone plays like I don't know. Oh, what's another song? Not a random freaking song.
That's the one song you can think of, Chanel. Michael Jackson Bad, and other music.
Anyway, so someone plays like you're thinking of that song, right? And then someone plays. Let's just go Michael Jackson again because I could bloody think of Michael Jackson. Billie Jean, right?
Okay.
So you're wanting to think it's like Bad, but so they're playing Billie Jean, and you're like, I can't physically get the melody because you're playing this song, right?
Okay. Or you could not remember melody, like you've been able to not remember melody.
Just remember the words. Right.
Sure, but or not. Yeah, now, but I know what you're saying. Yeah.
The fact that you're saying that you can't remember.
But like, what's more complicated? A taste of something of like a banana or a song? Like, what kind of metric are you using to weigh the complexities of those two things?
The reason why I'm saying is the tasting is like you eat all the time, right?
I definitely do.
There may be a day where you don't listen to music, right? You might not have heard that song for a while. Right?
I mean, yeah.
So what?
Yeah, but you're always listening unless you're deaf. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But not to that song, Alan. Right?
Yeah. So but I mean, but I'm not saying I can't remember like what a meringue tastes like, and I haven't eaten a meringue in 8 years. I'm saying I can't remember any taste.
Yeah, and I don't get it.
But I taste all the time. Yeah, but I'm saying like with music, it would be like it's the same thing.
I don't get it.
But it's the same thing with music because it's like people can't hear a song in their head even if they've heard it 10 times, even if they heard it yesterday. It's like they don't have that faculty to play it back in their head, only to articulate it or to whatever, sing it. Oh.
But then can you articulate what a banana tastes like?
Fucking no. Can you? I mean, it's sweet. I don't know. It's mushy, but that's not really taste. I guess that's texture. Go on, well, what does a banana taste like? You tell me.
Depending on whether it is like.
Here's the caveat.
Depending on its ripeness, then it could be like really, really sweet.
Yes.
Sometimes it can have like quite a bland taste. It's weird. It kind of tastes like.
Nothing worse than a bland banana, man.
Yeah, it's just it's like you feel like you've wasted your time.
I peeled this for nothing.
Sometimes if it's really kind of ripe, it can kind of have like a kind of a creamy texture to it.
Yeah, creamy, I don't like. There's a part where it goes too far. I don't like it when it gets too mushy. It's mainly sweet, and then you would mainly go into like textures, I guess, and then you would start to try and simulate to other stuff you've actually eaten. But yeah, I just don't get it, Alan, and I don't. Hey man, it's the curse. It's the curse. I can't do it. So Chanel can do it all. Surprise! She can remember music, taste, visuals.
On me,
just there, just rolling around in glee, thinking about the texture and taste of a banana. Anything I want, I can imagine.
Yeah, I do.
Anyway, but I just out of interest, do check with other people and see if there's anyone you know who has like either with sounds or with taste, just because I'd be interested.
That's just.
Yeah. But you're assuming how. Well, no, maybe it really is weird, but I don't think it's as weird.
What I'm saying is for me, it's just like, wow, to think that has anyone actually even thought of that?
Yeah.
Not the fact of that asking that question, just has anyone actually ever thought of that to be like. Oh, by the way, do you remember what a banana tastes like? Like, do you remember taste? Do you remember smells? Do you strange, interesting conversational point?
Hey, man, that's what we're all about here at the Chit Chat. A bunch of bullshit you never thought about, you never even wanted to think about. Well, here it comes.
Well, on that note, I will talk about... Remember I was saying about acting, right?
Yes.
And I was saying, I wanted to speak about acting because I don't understand it and I think it's really weird, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So it just came to me and I was like, oh, what was I watching? I think I was watching Harry Potter, I think. And I was like, oh, I fancy watching Harry Potter. Let me watch Harry Potter.
Oh.
And then I'm watching it, and the more I'm watching it, I'm like, this isn't real, right? But this is like, but I'm like, I started to really started to look at the characters and their actual acting ability.
I got you.
I was like,
actors, yeah.
These people they're lying.
Right, yeah.
So then we call
paid
it acting.
Liars.
They're basically lying. Right. And they're lying, and then they can also invoke like an emotion from you.
Right.
And
that's how good they are at lying.
And it's a bunch of lies that we pay to watch on a screen. And the fact that it's not real, some of obviously stuff that does happen, like it's been depicted or whatever, it's happened in real life. But at that point in
based
time,
on a true wizarding story. Yes,
But for them, it's like it didn't happen to them. So if we take away Harry Potter and we talk about like I don't know, what's like a movie that did actually happen, but
based on a true story based on a true story. Oh God, I can't think of the last time I saw something based on a true story. I kind of am.
I saw something. I didn't actually watch the movie, but it came off my YouTube. The Lorena Bobbitt movie, right?
Okay, yeah.
Right. Now, that woman who played in that movie, she never went through it.
I mean, she's not Lorena Bobbitt, so yeah.
So she didn't go through it.
Yeah.
But yet we're watching someone else play someone else's life.
Yeah.
And then we're supposed to get the same emotions that if we actually sat there and had a window into Lorena Bobbitt's life.
Sure.
And been like, wow, okay.
Well, it's like both are weird. I think the one where it's totally fictional is even more weird because, like, when it's a biography, you're like, okay, I know you didn't do it, but like you're like putting me in contact with their experience. Like, I know that this really happened to them. Well, except it's based on a true story in terms of some of the films where where they're like really loosely based. But let's just assume that, like, with that one, I presume is more or less closely based on. So like maybe that's just like that person is just like a way for you to feel empathy for the other person, like it's a way for you to connect through the actor. But like when it's fictional, then it's really weird, like, because you're like, what is it that I'm connecting to? It's not an actual person's experience. It's like,
you could be like in tears, or you could be angry, and you could be like and the fact that if you go to the movies, we pay these people to put us on this emotional roller coaster.
Yeah.
We're paying people to lie to us, to watch people lie. And then it started making me think, like, first, the fact that, like, it was, obviously it started off with plays, didn't it? Before, obviously, we came to, like, movies and all that kind of stuff. So it was plays first. And it makes me think, like, what was the first person's thought process behind writing something?
Once again, the caveman, like, what's the first, you know what I mean?
Well, let's act out what I don't know.
It's like
Adam and Eve did, like, last night, like,
Hello. Sounds like some stand-up The Snake in the Garden's calling. So anyway, Adam comes over to Eve and with all the the other animals in the garden or whatever the fuck. Or just the apples. I don't even know there were any animals in the garden. Just talking to a bunch of apples. He's got them lined up like a little audience for himself. But yeah, I mean, like, I presume to some extent it comes from like imitation, like like when somebody. I mean, it's like that sort of the childish sort of thing that people do sometimes. Where like, oh, I went to work yesterday. Oh, I went to work yesterday. Like where you like mock somebody, like, you know what I mean? Like, but you copy, or someone does something that you think is amusing. I mean, like, we don't even get the origins of what's funny and what's not. Let's leave that for another 7 podcasts. But like, you can see that someone could imitate like an individual action in a moment. Like, you fall over and I was like, oh my God, you were like, but it's like, and then whoever that first person was, that like fucking caveman, whoever it was, they had to be like, it was funny when I like made fun of Glog falling over. What if I recreated Glog's whole day, man, and the saber-toothed tigers, and like he rescues a baby monkey, or like, and then it's like, dude, like the first one to like the first like cave people to create or whatever it is, like fiction, or like, sorry, actually, in the case of Glog, it would be based on a true story. But like, it's a crazy concept. It's a crazy concept.
Yeah,
like, fiction is just.
It does. It just made me start thinking, and then when I'm watching stuff now, I'm like, fucking liar.
Sitting there just watching some like everyone else is all teary-eyed and moving. You're just like, this isn't real. Yeah.
Like, it makes me actually think like, and I really will be looking at their facial expressions and just being like,
you don't mean it at all.
There's a camera. There's someone actually filming you. And how many takes did that take for you to get that right? You know, it did make me start thinking, right? Like, wow. And we just like, the movie industry is like, it's a big thing. And we are like, oh, I can't wait till the next movie comes out. And they can just,
or TV shows or whatever it is, it's all the same.
Make believe.
Just out there, make believing, and we're forking over our hard-earned money to watch this nonsense.
I was like, oh my God, that was so good. Like, yeah. Especially that, like you said, like the stuff that's like based on like true stuff, you know, I get that. And it's just kind of gives you an insight of other people's lives and things people have been through.
Yeah, it's like the actors, the medium, the way the pages of a book are a medium that put you through to the information. It's like they're just getting you closer to that person. But like they get you closer to nothing when it's not a biography. To like, you know.
You just think, wow, like how people were so like sucked into like Game of Thrones, and you're just like,
sure. Don't get me started on Game of Thrones.
That's not real, right?
It's not real, right?
Like,
but it's what's interesting about it, really, in a way, is it shows you that like it's like human beings or whatever it is. Like we I suppose in one way you can say we can be tricked. We can like empathize with stuff. We can like, it's good to empathize with other people because it helps your survival, whatever. If you just like, you know, if you just like fuck everyone, then like you're not going to do very well in the long run for the most part. And if you're a caveman, you're just like, I'm just going to, well, maybe I'll take on the dinosaurs by myself, you fucking cunts. Fuck you know. So there's like an evolutionary thing. And then, but so our brains can be tricked into having empathy for this non-real people, essentially, you know, these made-up phantom people, which, I mean, the actors, they're not actually phantom people. They may as well be. I mean, they're not, you know what I mean? They're not, you know, you don't actually care about what happens to whoever. I can't think of a single actor's name. Bruce Willis? I don't know. It's just because I was looking at myself, so that's why. But like, it's like balls, Bruce. There we go. But it's like, so we know we're being tricked, but for the most part, your reaction, which again I've had as well. I've gone through that with acting and filmmaking stuff. It's like, this is, I couldn't watch a film and not keep thinking about the camera and the actors and I was like, I couldn't get into it. You know, it was like, but it's like without feeling tricked. But it's like we enjoy the feeling of like the empathizing with other people, even if those other people aren't real. Like we enjoy being, or you can think of it as being tricked or whatever. So I think it's like, I think it's something like, if you think about like our emotions, like almost like a muscle, you know what I mean? And like, it's enjoyable to feel like they've been activated or they've been worked out or whatever it is, whether it's happiness or sadness or whatever it is. And it's like, that's what the movies are. They're just a way for us to like get our emotional workout without actually having to have an epic fight with somebody and then be like, damn, it's every day. You know what I mean? Like, although, you know, I mean, I don't know about you. I know some people who, they don't need any fucking movie pass because they are living it all day, every day. Bringing the capital D drama to bringing fucking Game of Thrones to every minor interaction with anyone. Some people, but I think maybe that's it. Maybe that's it.
Could be. That sounds plausible. It's like with horror movies as well. Like I won't watch them now if I know it's going to scare me. I consciously will not put myself in that particular situation.
So you only watch it if it's a crap horror movie. You're like, oh, this looks crap. I'll watch this.
Or if I know that I can like fully watch it and know that I'm not going to feel like that's possible that it could happen to me.
Right.
Like, if I feel that there's some slim chance that there's some truth to this shit,
right.
I'm not watching it. Like, I'm just like, I'm good, thanks.
All
like,
right, let's
or
go
it's
through
got to be a daytime watch.
All
like,
right, let's do this though.
Putting myself in that state.
This is fun. Let's go through the list, right? It's movie night time, and you're picking a horror film. I want to know which ones Chanel think are outside chance possibility real, and so you won't look at them. I already know the answers to some of these, but let's see. Something with aliens in it. Will you watch something with creepy, horrible aliens in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that could happen to you. You believe in aliens. They could be up probing you by the end of the day.
But the fact is that what they tell us, I don't believe that that's true. So whatever narrative they're trying to push at me, like, oh, they're scary, they're going to come and get you.
Okay.
But you haven't actually, hold on. I haven't seen a black person say they were abducted by aliens and given back.
There's only one famous case I know, Barney and what's his wife's name? Something Hill. There's like one, but I mean like it stands out the fact that I can remember the one. Like I don't think I know the names of any of the white people who were abducted. I don't even know
who he is. Like I have no clue who he is. I've never seen him before or heard that name. So yeah, I just don't feel like it would be. It's like if they're taking us, they're just not giving us back. You know. So I just don't feel that like that's possible that could happen to me. So it's fine.
So but the problem is, I mean, like what? Okay, so for now, alien films are okay. Like if there's a gap in the market here, there should be a film where black people are abducted later on in the year, and then that one will be off the cards. That one will be off the cards. Right. So, what about Chanel? Would you watch a scary film about zombies? Late at night, zombies. Scary zombie film.
No, because I don't like it. I just feel that it's just stupid.
Okay, but that's not because it's scary, though. Yeah. Is that because it's scary?
Yeah, it's not because it's scary. It's just it's stupid.
Yeah. See, for me, I'm like zombie films. I mean, I like zombie films. And I watch them, but like I don't. There's no part of my brain afterwards that thinks that zombies are remotely possible. So like I don't find them as scary as a film. I'm like,
I've watched them before. I have, like I watched Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, it's fun, yeah.
And there was another one, I cannot remember what it was called, but they got stuck in a shopping mall.
Yeah.
And
I think that's Dawn of the Dead. There's I think that's the original one. Is just
I think so. Yeah. That's what I watched. Yeah.
But
yeah.
Okay, so not that one. All right. What about? Okay, how about like Saw or something like that, where it's a psycho who abducts people and does shit to people?
I watched them all. And that used to kind of scare me. Like it was more the gore, like
Okay.
And then I watched one recently, and I'll watch that because I'm just like, I'm all right.
So no, but are you saying that people have done? Are you saying you're no longer afraid of gore, or you still would find gory stuff scary? I'm talking about after the fact now. Not when you're all brave on the podcast and being like, nothing scares me. Like when you're in your little bed at night, you've just watched a scary film, and oh, there's a noise. Like what? Would the gore ones get you in a scared place or not?
No, because I have to remind myself that it's not catch up now, but these people are fine. So I do have to talk to myself.
Interesting.
I would still watch it because I'm like, okay. Like I was going to watch a movie the other day, and it was, what was it called? It's on Netflix. It came on. It was like, oh, you might like this. And I put it on, and in the first not even the first minute, this guy just had this mask on. They were at this party. It was a Halloween party, and he just started stabbing people. Right, got his mask on and started stabbing people. Now
blew his load too soon, man. Just straight from the jump. Just fucking mask. Let's go. No build up. Nothing.
And I was like,
TikTok generation of serial killers, isn't it?
And it was starting to. What pissed me off was there was a black girl there. Now he hadn't stabbed her, right? So he stabbed a friend, and then she just keeps shouting, "Stop! Stop! Stop!" And then kept running over to everyone he stabbed to try and fucking help them. And I'm like, this bitch. Like, what the fuck? Why haven't you left? Why haven't you left to go and get help? Like, I don't understand why you're still trying to use your hand. Just because you're dressed up as a nurse, it doesn't mean it's real.
Oh, that was it, man.
What?
She was too in character, you see? The acting coming back around. She was pretending to be someone pretending to be a nurse, and she just got.
And I was watching, and I was thinking, everyone is trying to tackle him, and then they're getting stabbed. And literally, in a minute, I stopped watching, because I was just like, I'm getting pissed off. And I'm getting in this state of being pissed off at this shit that's not real, because she can't fucking act, and the writing is absolutely diabolical. I turned it off. I was like, I'm not, and I gave it a thumbs down because it was shit.
So now the harshest thing you can do on the internet, the thumbs down on Netflix.
I had to. I was just like, this is so, and it had me so annoyed, and I was like, you've got me in this state of like annoyance, and I'm sure that was not your.
I think annoyance is one of the few. Talking about you go to watch films for a certain emotional exercise, I don't really think anyone goes watching films looking for annoyance. Ooh, like you got your horror, your romance, and your annoyance, where they just do really stupid things.
Oh, I was just like,
act really badly. That's great. That's a new category. It's a new category. Annoyance.
It was so annoying. I had to turn it off. I was like,
that's great.
Oh, this is so dumb.
Yeah, this badly made, or whatever you want to call it, stuff is super annoying to some extent. But see, that's okay. I'm trying to work out what stuff what would scare you now. So maybe serial killer, murder, gore stuff if it's done well, not if it's done badly. Not zombies, makes sense. Not aliens, because apparently they don't abduct black people. Not. What about like something like with fucking ghosts? Ghosts to get you.
Oh, that shit. Yeah, like Paranormal Activity. Nah, not doing it.
No, okay. Right. Because you were like, you think that's possible. Like zombies, not possible, not a problem. Ghosts, possible. All right, I figured as much. And we'll come back to ghosts. I want to know if you have any good ghost stories. But vampires, anything with vampires?
No, vampires.
Not really.
Yeah, I think
I like a vampire film, but it's not scary. I just think it's thematically interesting or whatever. Vampire. I'm trying to go through my list of horrible shit. Monsters, mutants. I mean, that's almost all of horror we just covered there, right? Let me look through let me look through my collection here. Of horror, my collection of horror. Yeah, I don't know. What about shit with masks? Some people get really freaked out when people wear masks. How about you? Like, there's like, what's that thing called? Fuck me, I can't think of the name of the film, but they're all wearing these like white masks and the masked figure.
I think for me, masks feel like a Jason, that kind of thing.
This sort of shit
annoys me. I want to see what the face looks like.
I love this. Like this.
Like I need to see what the face looks like.
So you would be. I don't know if this would make you better or worse in like an apocalypse scenario. I could just. Like we're just like, oh my god, the killer's coming for you, and you're just really annoyed. Like everyone else is scared, and you're just like, what's he even look like under there? What's he even look like? You're not a doctor, leave him, he's dead. What's he even look like? Like you're just annoyed. I don't know if that would make you like a liability, or if that would make you like a really excellent hero to have around in the apocalypse where we're fighting ghosts.
Like I need to know who's after me. Like, just like the what do we call it? The horror movies like Jason, all that kind of thing, and Halloween and all that. And like the fact that they walk at the normal pace, that pisses me off.
Like they're not running.
Like they walk slow, right?
They do.
These people are running for their lives. These people are running for their lives, tripping over imaginary boulders. Oh my god! And then by the time they turn around, you're just like you're like, but they ran for their lives.
Part of this is another reason why I want to be a serial killer. Like you don't have to run, you don't get sweaty, and you still get where you're going. People turn around and suddenly, hey, I'm at work and I'm not late. No running for the tube. You just start walking through your door, and people turn around and then I'm there. You gotta see it from the serial killer's point of view. That's great. That's
oh
great,
my
man.
days. Yeah, that
Did
cracks me up.
you? Yeah, you didn't see Us, did you? That was Jordan Peele's second one after Get Out.
Mm-hmm.
Get Out's very good. Did you like Us? What I mean, I think everyone likes Get Out. It's pretty fucking. Unless, did you find it really annoying because somebody was walking too slow in it?
No, I liked Get Out.
Yeah.
I was just kind of screaming at the thing like, just fucking leave, just leave, get out, get the fuck out.
Did you not see the title?
Like,
get
the fuck out, like. And
yeah,
I just thought, what did irritate me was
I love this.
that the brother was just a fucking weirdo.
Oh,
he was weird from his jump.
Yeah, that actor is really he's in loads of stuff where he's a creepy dude, man. He's a very I don't know. I hope he's a really good actor. You know what I'm saying?
You know,
like,
right?
I hope.
And for me, I would have just been like, I am not staying here.
Yeah.
I need to go home.
But that doesn't annoy me. That freaks me out in a way more so when there's. It depends. It's like a fine line. Like there's some stuff I think in horror films where it's like, why aren't they just leaving? La la la. But stuff like that one or I mean, I think all the stuff that's the scariest is when it's like this psychological aspect to it. You know what I mean? It's like, but people do see red flags like in their life, in their real life all the time, and they don't respond to the red flags. And part of what you want to do is learn how to respond to red flags. But like that, to me, obviously in something like that, it's super heightened because it's super weird and awful. But I'm like, it's still realistic within certain margins because I'm like, people do sleepwalk into like nightmares and they don't follow red flags. So like for me, that it doesn't annoy, it freaks me out more than it annoys me. I'm just like, oh, why aren't you leaving? But I'm like, I bet I wouldn't leave either. Oh, no.
For me, I just thought to myself, like, just me in general, I think for me, I'm like, that shit's fucking weird. Like, you didn't grow like that. Like, and you don't call him out on each. I know it's a film, I know, but you're just like, you haven't just been like, dude, back the fuck up. Like, are you alright? Like, I don't play those games, innit? Like, back the fuck up. You're too close. Like, yeah.
For
but
sure.
With Us, I did watch that. That did kind of make me go, oh, I just watched it on the plane actually.
You're trying to relax yourself to get into that holiday mood, were you?
And that for me, it's a little bit scary when she went into the haunted house, the House of Mirrors, that bit.
Oh yes, yeah, the fun
That's
fair
the bit that got me. Because I was just like, I don't know I know something's gonna happen, but I don't know what's gonna happen. And that anticipation had me going, yeah, I don't like it. I don't like being put in that like I don't like being made to feel anxious. Like I don't like having, I don't know, I just don't like it. And I will not intentionally put myself in that situation. And I didn't know what the movie was really about. Someone said it was a horror movie, but then someone said it's not a horror movie. So I was like, okay.
Both things are true.
Yeah.
Yeah, but off of this, I'm trying to work out the stuff that'll make you scared now. It's so funny. This sounds like I'm planning to sort of, create some anti-birthday Halloween horror show, just like designed to upset you. Because I'm just that kind of a friend. You're welcome. But like, would you like go on like a haunted house or something like that? Have you ever done one of them, like walk through creepy, like would that freak you out, or would you just be like,
I did do a haunted house once, maybe twice. I'm not 100% sure. I think I did. Yes, that was it. In Canada, we went to a haunted house, and this is the weirdest thing. So my cousin's friend had her baby. He must have been like maybe like one. He was like one or something. He was a baby bit. Anyway, so he was like, oh, went to the Ripley's, believe it or not thing. Then we was like, oh yeah, we can go for this thing. And then they was like, oh, can he come in? He's not going to know what's going on, so it's fine.
Right.
So okay, cool. So we went in there now, and we're just thinking, oh yeah, it's going to be like some basic thing. It's not going to be that scary.
I just want to flag that this is also the reason why people are just like, yeah, just leave the baby in the backyard for the next 8 hours. It's fine. He won't remember it. They grow up. They forget it. It's fine.
Exactly. It's fine. It's fine. So then we're in there now, and all I remember is my niece was with me.
So it's like a walk around one. Yeah? Like you're walking
and
through.
I don't remember what the thing was that made us jump. Well, I know because it was just freaking, it's like it's pitch black in there, right? And my niece stepped back, her head smacked me in the mouth, and I was just like, also dazed. It was just like, we were just screaming in each other's faces after that. We were just, and it was just like, we just need to get the fuck out of here. Like, we need to get out of here. I think it was the fact that it was like pitch black in there.
Sure, yeah.
And then things would jump out and you don't know when they're jumping out. Yeah. And I've never been a great fan of the dark, to be honest. Like it's never been my judge.
Yeah. See, that it's amazing. It's so like with the emotions thing, but even more so like fear, it's so elemental, you know, it's so like you don't like, because like when you're watching the film, your brain, you can tell yourself this is just a film, that's an actor, blah 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 blah. You can take, but like in a scenario like that, it's so much more difficult because you're like, it is dark, there are things jumping at me, like your rational brain is telling you it's fine, and then your body is just like, what is wrong with you, we gotta go out of here, what the fuck, like it's just happening, like your body is not like,
it's just, even at Dungeons and Dungeons we went there and my niece was like, she was younger then, but she was scared about that too, and then what do you call it, that freaked us out, that did, it was like, what the fuck? So that was but I don't know if it's scary
so much
now.
fun. It's so much fun. It's parts of it are still scary. It's not. It depends. Okay. Parts of it are more fun, and then parts of it are a bit more. I mean, and also you get some like I get some good scares. I shake some good scares out of people. The final one, the prisoner one that's probably I get the most scares on that. I like that. But do you like scaring other people, Chanel? Because evidently I do, because it's been my job.
This is the thing. I used, like, me and my mum and my sister, like, we used to, just before always going to bed, so, like, you turn all the lights off in the house, and then, like, we'd hide behind something, and then we'd jump out, and we'd scare each other all the time.
Yes.
And then, I was one time, like, there was, like, in my house, there was 2 steps that went down to the bathroom. So then, like, then there was a wall so you could hide behind the wall. So when people would come up, you could stand here and you could.
I got you. Right? I got you. They're coming up towards you, and you're. Right. Yeah.
So my sister and our room was like down this side. So say you're coming from the toilet to the where here. Yeah. So what I did was she was coming out of the bedroom, so I couldn't go to the front room. So I laid down where the 2 steps are. I've laid down so she can't see me, and then I've jumped up and I've scared her. And I was like,
yeah.
What she's done was I had a shirt on, my favourite orange shirt. She ripped the pocket off of my shirt.
That's great.
ripped my shirt pocket off, like ripped it off, and I was like, what the fuck? She's like, well, you shouldn't have scared. I was like, yeah, but why would I think you're gonna tear my clothes? Like,
we all know the risks of scaring someone. You could end up short a pocket. You know, that's not like.
That was like,
I love that
why
as
would
a
I
reaction.
think you're gonna like rip my clothes to shit? Like, what the hell? But it's literally like that used to be our thing. Even me and mum used to literally still be frightening each other. I went underneath her bed once. She didn't realise, and then let's just say that was fun for me. And then
how long did you wait? How long did you wait before you like got it?
I was waiting for a bit because it was like, okay. And then what happens to me is I get the giggles. So now because I'm like, this is gonna be epic. So now I'm fucking laughing because I know this is gonna be so great. So then I have to kind of like stifle myself. Like, come on, don't fuck it up. Don't fuck it up.
Yes.
Yeah, and did the whole grabbing of the ankle thing. And she keeps saying, look, you keep doing this to me. One day I'm going to have a heart attack, I'm going to die. And it's going to be your fault. And I'm going to be like...
And I'm going to haunt you! Oh, there's some irony.
Like, but you scared me too. So I don't understand. I'm getting you back because you got me. Like,
she wants that on the elder dispensation. Like, you can't respect your elders, all this stuff.
So then I was speaking to Gemma. And she was saying that we shouldn't scare like people or each other like in general. And I was like, why? And she was like, because when you scare someone, the brain goes into, it was defensive mode. Basically, like, there's bits of where you kind of like damage the brain because it's constantly it's going to like, it's kind of like a fight or flight kind of mode, and it's yeah. So basically, she was saying it's not good to do that because it can damage the brain, blah blah. And I was like, right, okay then. So since then, I haven't scared my mom.
And then she went to the bathroom and then you jumped at her and went, ah! I don't care!
Then, I just, because I know that it can actually do some sort of like damage, I don't do it anymore. But it was like, for my mum and me, I had to tell my mum, and I was like, right, now on, I'm not gonna like scare you, whatever.
Does she still get you?
No, because she was like, I have to consciously remind myself not to do it, and then also remind myself that like that you're not going to do it to me. So it's like when sometimes you think, oh, is she around the corner? Because sometimes I'm thinking, I bet she's hiding in the kitchen. She's going to get me. She's going to get me. But now, because we've had this talk and we're like, okay, cool.
I love this. I love you've had some like peacemaking process, some armistice.
This is some good
brought
years,
the
man.
parties together.
We had some good times.
I don't know. I think I like Gemma very much. I think Gemma's very wise, but I'm gonna have to say I disagree with Gemma. I think I strongly advocate for scaring the shit out of your friends and family. Because Gemma, counterpoint. Number one, it's fun as fuck. Nobody can deny that. It's fun when it happens to you.
Yeah, but then
it's fun doing it to other people.
The fact that I was in a state of like
constant paranoia.
Yeah, and a little bit of a state of fear because I'm thinking, oh, she's gonna get me. She's gonna get me. She's gonna get me. And
okay,
now
that sounds like that's too much. That sounds like it's too much.
Because we would like when I mean like I was freaking underneath her bed, like, come on, like I'm planning this shit. Yeah,
it's schematics and shit.
Literally, I'll be like, okay, cool, right. So you're gonna be here. All right, cool. All right, you've been in there for a little while. All right, cool. Now, so I know I can get here. I can hide here. I can do like it was. I was calculating as fuck, man.
I believe.
But now I don't. You know, I've freed up some more mental space to do other shit.
You know? Here's what. All right, we're gonna say two things, right? So number one, it's fun. Number two, and I'll come back to your point because I think there is validity in it there, right? I'm just not ready to throw out scaring just yet. So it's fun. But number two, Gemma's saying it's this flight or fight reflex you get is going to damage your brain. Maybe you need to exercise that part of your brain, because what happens to Gemma and your mom and you all live in this peaceful, happy land where everyone's nice to each other and no one ever dresses up as a skeleton and jumps out from under someone's wardrobe, right? This fantasy world. And then what happens when a real werewolf comes along? You'll crumble. No. You're only this tough now. No, listen. You're this tough now because you went through years of abuse. I mean, training with your mother. So that's why you're tough. 10 more years of this, you're going to be soft as a sack of marshmallows, man.
No.
And the zombies come.
What she was saying is that being naturally scared by things that actually happen, that's what happens in life, isn't it? It's cool. But if someone's actually going out of their way to scare you as a joke, then that doesn't, like, there's no danger in that sense, is there? So
I think I agree. I think for me, the problem is the frequency. The frequency. I think if you're doing it all the time every day, I definitely agree with that. That's bad. That's going to be bad for your mental health. But I'm just saying, what my recommendation is, Dr. Allen, I feel like I need one of them, you know, the thing they used to have in the head.
It's your job, so that's why you're trying to back it so hard.
Listen, I'm trying, motherfucker, I'm about to be out of a job and you're going to close down. Now you're going to try and contribute to this culture of anti-scaring. You want me on the breadlines? Is that what you want? I don't have any other skills, Chanel. Scaring people and I've got nothing else. So come on. But my recommendation is just once or twice a year. Just once or twice a year. It's good to get scared once or twice a year, and it's good to scare people once or twice a year. Because this whole thing, it's natural, it's not natural. Ain't nothing natural about a fucking tiger jumping out at you. You know what I mean? That's bullshit. It's just some of it's man-made and some of it's not. I think once in a while.
No, you should be scared of that. But me being scared by someone jumping out and going, boo.
Well, what if that person has a knife? You should be scared.
Well, they're not going to say fucking boo, are they?
That would be great if they did, though. Wouldn't that be funny? Like if there was an actual boo murderer. Boo! And then they fucking because the boo would disarm you. If I jumped out at you and said boo as you're a stranger, you'd go, oh, it's someone I must know having a joke. You wouldn't even put your hands up to defend yourself. You'd be like, oh, you. And then the boo murderer. This is a new film. This is good. The boo man. Do. Watch out. You never know. Boo! Stab. That's it. Once in a while, you need to scare. You need to look, mate. Look, I think here's what happened, Chanel. You and your mother obviously took it to some hyper intense, fucking crazy place, and now you're burnt out. It's like those people who are just you're just like me. I'm burnt out on booze. I can't drink anymore. Because I went hard on drinking for I got my whole lifetime's worth of drinking in. And that's what you've done, in fairness to you. So I have to respect your choice. You've chosen to give up scaring because you and your mother, you just went hard at it like a couple of fucking scare junkies for too long. And I respect your choice. But don't push your scare values on me or people who want to give me money for my job. Jesus! You know what the saddest part about this is? When you said Gemma, I was like, I bet Gemma's got a great, oh my God, you just scared the shit out of me face. And now my first thing I thought was oh, I can't wait to scare Gemma. And now apparently if I do, it's a war crime. So now that's on the card. So, fucking.
You say it's a war crime, you're right.
Now the worst thing I can do. Gemma, if you're watching, boo, boo.
Oh, it's so sad.
The boo man. Boo-hoo. So nothing. So what about roller coasters? Okay, how about, would you go to a roller coaster? Would you roller coaster?
Not now. I have though.
Not now.
And I used to like them.
You don't, because as part of your bigger thing of trying not to scare yourself, or just because you're
no,
fuck roller coasters, I'm done?
No, just that feeling of that stomach, or your stomach is in knots, and you're not sure whether you want to shit yourself or laugh or cry. You don't know what's gonna happen. Yeah. And then all of a sudden you're down here
You've had enough of that,
Yeah, I think to myself, I did they had the Pepsi Max ride, which was in Trocadero, which was at West End, and I remember going on that, and I remember it would be it's really, really tall, and then it just plummets to the ground, and I remember my stomach still being up there. I was down there, and that feeling of you're just oh, you can't even I did those things, and I'm why would I put myself through these things? What for? What, just so you can be I went on that ride. Do for you.
That's so interesting. That's great.
I just don't that.
Yeah, fair enough, man. Feeling. If you don't like the feeling, you don't like the feeling.
Yeah,
but isn't it funny? At one stage, you kind of almost did like that feeling. Isn't it funny? Not did like it, but was it peer pressure? Were all your friends in school being there's nothing cooler than roller coasters? And you were yeah, I guess so.
No, I think it was because everyone was oh, theme parks. And what else are they meant to go on theme parks?
True
roller coasters,
enough.
That's the main thing.
The teacups would be a bit of a disappointment.
Yeah, so sad. Even the freaking waltzes where they used to spin you around and
yeah, man, you get that whoa.
Yeah, even those, I'm just those kind of rides. And then I think it was the turning point for me was I went on the fun fair, and it was one of the ones where, you know, it starts from the ground. It's kind of like spider legs, and then it spins around, like it lifts.
Oh, like you're in a little pod on the end of a leg.
Yeah, it spins around.
Yeah.
And I remember coming off of that, and my brain felt like it was still spinning after I got off, and I felt so sick, and I had a headache afterwards, and I was just like,
that's rough, man. Yeah.
After that, I was just like, I'm done. No more rides for me. Like, I'm done abusing my brain that way. Like,
that's it. I'll find new ways.
It was so horrible. So I was like,
it's fun. Yeah, it's funny. I don't know. I think I still like some of that stuff. I'm trying to think. I'm not as big on the spinny rides as I used to be. No, I still do. I still like it. I still like it. I like that. I like the scaredness. I mean, no one likes feeling dizzy. Although, you know what I'm saying. But no one likes having a headache. But yeah, I still like that panicked feeling. I still think I find that enjoyable. But maybe that'll change over time. Maybe
I probably would go on like a like the water slide things. You know, they're like high and you go down.
Right.
I probably would do that. But just being up in the air and probably no water involved, I probably wouldn't bother.
One thing that I did hear, and I didn't know I was going to be able to do it until I got right up to the last second. I was like, I'm going to chicken out of this because I don't like heights. I can't. I'm not good with heights. Like in a plane or something, like where you say it's fine, but like where there's an actual edge of stuff, I don't like that. Right. So there's these zip lines. There is some fucking park here. I don't know what the name of the fucking park is. But you zip line all the way across the park and you're up high, man. You're up like maybe 6-7 stories, like, which isn't high when you're in an apartment building. It is high when you're like hanging from a bit of thread. My friend, crazy Chinese Tony, he wanted to do it with some of his friends. So I was going to go along, and there's like you go up the steps, and then there's like a platform with like a gate and shit, and then like once you go out that gate, it's just steps to nothing, man. It's just steps into nothing, and you're holding on to this thing that's held by, dude, the thing, man, the metal thing that you're holding as you go up the thing, it just looks like it's made of like a fucking drinks can. It doesn't look like it can hold up fuck all, man. And there's like a little safety lock on it that you can just like push and you're like, it's like a fucking key ring. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna fucking die. And you have to go right to the edge, and then you just have to basically like jump off, and then you end up zipping forward on it. That was the scariest thing I ever do, man. I'd go on fucking. I was really happy I did it. Like as it's happening. As it's happening and you realize, okay, I'm probably not going to die. That's a great feeling. But dude, I do 10 haunted houses inside of one of them spinny things. Like compared to doing that for me it was too much. It's fun though. I recommend it. But
yeah, I don't know. I've looked at ziplining and been like, that's interesting. And that's as far as it's gone. I would never do bungee jumping.
Fuck, man.
Never ever.
Bungee jumping.
Never ever would I ever in my whole entire life do that. And
what about skydiving?
I thought about it, but I don't know. I haven't ruled it out completely. I've thought about it. That's as far as that went.
Yeah.
And what else have I thought about? Like even like, you know, when you have those buildings, like there's where it's like the floor's made of like plexi, like glass thingy, so you can kind of see down. I don't know. I think they've got that in like. I think this is at Toronto, and they've also got like that bridge. Is it in China?
There is a bridge in China, and there's a bridge somewhere else as well.
And then like also in like higher buildings, they have like where you can actually step on this thing and you can see down. And I don't know if I could do that. Like when I saw a guy the other day, he stepped on it and he was just like kind of like done that kind of shaking, crouching, like like he was gonna fall.
Isn't that the funniest thing that we do when we're scared? How does that help? Like evolutionary speaking, when the saber-toothed tiger is running towards you or the cliff is about to collapse, what does this do? You know? Everyone does it. Like, why? What is it? It's great.
I don't know.
I guess you're just trying to lower your
idea.
center of gravity so you don't fall or something. As an adult as well, there's nothing more embarrassing than that move when people are watching.
I don't know if I would do that.
I wouldn't do it in China anyway, man. I lived there for too long to know that their health and safety there is fast and loose.
Like, no, like, I think that's one thing as well, like, because
Germany,
like,
that's where you want to do it. You want some fucking German efficiency, like, they don't let a single screw go out of place. I'm just saying, if you're going to do it somewhere, that's where you do it.
But this is the thing, so like the zip lining and stuff like that, it's more like kind of a popular thing to do on holiday. And I always thought, like, I don't want to be somewhere that's not home and I can't sue the fuck out of them, you know?
Right.
Or my mum or like whoever's left behind can sue them and get some money.
That's great.
I don't really fancy doing that, especially if English is not their first language, and then there's a language barrier, and I'm putting your life in. No.
What I mean, because you know what is the Filipino for? There's a problem with my harness. I don't know. Do you know? I don't fucking know. You know? That's my Filipino speak English, but you know what I'm saying. Any language.
Yeah. Just like, no thanks. Oh, you didn't say Vietnamese for once, so we're making progress.
I'm falling off. Gotta keep my anti-Vietnamese stance, my random arbitrary. I just realized as well I'm wearing the Shining t-shirt. That's very appropriate to our horror conversation. That was unintentional. There we go. What was I going to say? The zip line thing. The parachute, like heights for me are the thing that I'm like the most like afraid of in terms of just a gut reaction. Like I can't control it. It's not because when I was a child, you know, some really tall building abused me or was mean to me. It's not, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like some psycho. Alan gets deep talking about how he's abused by the Empire State Building as a small child. But you know what I'm saying? Like some fears, they're like because of your experience or something. You know, they're like built.
He's such a prick.
Oh, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me?
Oh my god. So when was the first time that you realized that heights wasn't your thing?
I don't know, man. I can't remember. It's just ever since I can remember, I just like whoa. So it's so hard to overcome that. That's why it's something like the zipline thing or skydiving or something. Like I really want to do it, but I want to do it because I don't want to do it. Do you know what I mean? Like some people are like, yeah, I'm a real thrill seeker. I'm like, yeah, you're a thrill seeker, but you're not afraid of the shit you're doing. So like, it's not as this basically means me talking shit. I'm like, you're not being brave. Like if you're not afraid of heights and you go up somewhere high, I mean, it could still be fun or a thrill or something, but I mean, you're not bursting through the same barriers or something. So I'm just, I think I would shit my pants.
Afraid of heights because I'm thinking like when I was younger, I remember going to my friend's house and we used to climb out onto the roof and sit on the roof and just be talking and whatnot.
That's fun, man. That's fun.
And I was cool with that. Like, didn't have an issue. The higher the better. Yeah. But like as I got older, I'm just like, whoa.
Right.
Hold up, wait. Like I'm just, and when I see people,
it's funny, right?
Doing stuff and they're like being a daredevil and they're like that kind of that free falling and base jumping and all that kind of stuff.
Yes,
buildings and stuff, and I'm just like, my stomach is literally like in my mouth, and I'm like, oh my god.
That stuff's too much, man. Have you seen? There's like a top 10 of all the pictures of people who took photos just before. Don't ever look it up, man. But you will. I mean, the pitch like 10 photos taken moments before people were killed. it's like, it's the saddest and the funniest shit. Because like half of them are like, hey man, I'm on a building, hey! And then like in the caption underneath it says, and then he fell 14 stories and landed on a spike. And you're just like, part of you's like, that's terrible. But also part of you's like, it's kind of funny. I'm like, it's kind of funny. Because that's the thing as well with social media. Old man Alan going on his rants as well. But like they get likes and clicks when they're up on top doing this dangerous stuff. And it's sad if they're doing it because of social pressure. But if you're just an idiot, it's not sad, it's funny. If you're just a dope, it's funny. I don't care. I don't care about your death if you're just an idiot. If you're a young person and you've been pressured, it's sad for the families. It's sad if you're an idiot, it's sad for your family. But it's not sad for you because you're an idiot and it's funny you're dead. So, but there was one. There's a train, dude. The guy is like, I think it was two of them. They're like on the railroad tracks taking a selfie as a train is coming behind them, as like a dare. And I'm like, and they got hit by the train, and I'm like, good.